Hey guys, so usually I am harping about protein and how you need to get more consistent at protein. And so I thought it might be fun for me to come to you guys today and share some of the ways that I use Amazon's subscribe and save feature to help me to stay on track with hitting my macros, mainly my protein. Because as you may or may not know about me, I am a self-professed carb queen. I love carbs. I do not have a hard time getting to my carbs, but I do have a hard time staying consistent with my protein. If left to my own devices, just eating whatever feels good to me or intuitively, I am going to probably eat predominantly carbs, which means that my protein ratio could be anywhere from 15 to 10% or less because carbs and fat are life, right? So those of you guys who don't know, macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. So a lot of times I'll also mention fiber just because it's very important, especially as far as like the thermogenic effect of food, which means that you're burning calories just in the digestion of it. But protein is one of those things. So if you are someone like me and you're not a huge fan of protein, then maybe some of these tips will help you to figure out how to make it work for you. These are all things that I have on Amazon Subscribe and Save. That's why I even thought to do it right now because most of them came to my monthly delivery. And it's something that I literally don't think about, but the stuff is always there. So I'm typically always carrying it around with me. So one of the first things that I got on Subscribe and Save were these Core Power drinks. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Obviously, there's different flavors that you can try. For instance, here, and I order these in a 12 pack. So there is the chocolate there, and that's 26 grams of protein. This is vanilla, and that's 26 grams of protein. There is also a 42-gram protein option, and that is the Core Power Elite. So I'm going to explain a little bit about why I have so many of them and which ones I actually prefer. 42 grams obviously is amazing if you are having a really hard time hitting your protein. Typically, if someone is getting in, just like 10 grams here and there, a lot of things that are labeled as high protein aren't really. Or if you're somebody that does find yourself at the end of the day and you're like, oh man, I have, 50 grams more protein to get, then you could throw one of those babies back and hit the 42. Now, the thing about it is that typically, and this is what I found with most protein shakes, especially the like ready-made protein shakes, is that when you have an option where one is in that 15 to 25-ish grams or something like that, so usually like 25, 30 grams of protein or less, typically for a lot of women, if you don't have the super iron stomach, they're probably going to be a little bit easier to digest than the ones that have tons of protein. So usually in my house, what ends up happening is that I end up drinking this version and my husband ends up drinking that version. And this is the way that it's kind of been for us for years, even with protein powders and things like that. If you're somebody who has followed me for any length of time, you know that for a very long time, especially pre 2013, 14-ish, I was very anti protein shakes, very anti-protein powder. I thought protein powder was disgusting. I thought protein shakes were disgusting. My husband would buy protein powders. I personally did not very often because I would taste his and they would be disgusting. And most of that was because of the fact that his were very high in protein and they were really hard for me to digest and they just didn't taste that good to me. So if you're somebody who feels like that, one of the things that I used to always suggest back then, if you see any of my old blogs or videos floating around where I'm anti-protein, typically that's what I'm saying, is that what I discovered over time was some of the protein powders that were marketed towards women were a little bit easier to digest. Either they were lactose free or some of the plant-based options, things like that made them a little bit easier for me to swallow literally. But over time, I did notice that protein powder development, they started tasting a little bit better too, because I have been doing this for so long. Back in the day, there was only a couple of options. Now there's a lot more options. So again, it's not about the particular brand that I'm recommending, although I will say that to me, Core Power makes the best protein. And like these, the 26-gram shake tastes like chocolate milk to me. These are lactose free, by the way. So if you are somebody who has issues with dairy, especially isolated whey and things like that, these might be a little bit easier to digest. But also a lot of protein shakes, like I did muscle milk for a while, which I didn't love, but I was able to digest it, so I did drink it. Premier protein shakes was another one that I moved on to after muscle milk, and those were pretty good to me. Those were my go-tos until Core Power came about. And these are made from Fairlife, which I do also drink Fairlife milk, which is how I got turned on to Core Power. So obviously this is not sponsored by Core Power or anything like that. This is just what I like. So this one, like I said, tastes like chocolate milk to me. Love it. Vanilla I never thought I'd be a vanilla person. I've always been more of a chocolate person, but I do drink these. And if you want to mix your shake with something else, vanilla can work for that. I've also even put it in my coffee before. Not something that I love because I do actually love cream in my coffee, but it's worked in a pinch before I started using the product that I'm going to show you next to help my morning protein be a little bit better. There's also, I think, banana, strawberry banana, maybe other flavors of these. I'm not huge on strawberry when it comes to shakes. My husband does drink them sometimes. I'll drink them if there's nothing else, like I'm ordering them from 7-Eleven or something like that, like if I run out. But those are usually my go-to is the vanilla or the chocolate. The chocolate I've had on Subscribe and Save forever. The vanilla I tried when Amazon was all out of the chocolate. And so I subbed in this one for a few rounds until I was ready to get my chocolate again. So you guys don't go buying up all the chocolate because I need it and I hate when I run out. Some days I don't need shakes at all, but if I need to, they're there and I'm happy about that. So that brings me to the next thing that is in my Subscribe and Save, and that is collagen. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Collagen Peptides. This one is 10 grams of protein and I put this in my coffee. I am not keto. I'm not using it for to have coconut oil or some type of MCT oil or anything like that in my coffee. This is literally about the protein for me. Now, granted, collagen is not, and I will say it specifically on the back, that it is not a complete protein. So obviously I could not subsist off of collagen, but it was a way for me to, like I said before, I started trying to put some of the core power in my coffee, only because coffee for me is something that I'm always drinking every morning. Typically, it's just kind of a take one for the team type meal. There's nothing beneficial to it. I use real sugar, I use real cream. So literally there's nothing in it that is working for me macro wise. So it's one of those things that I just drink it because I like it. And I never really found a workaround with it until this particular collagen. You don't have to put collagen in your coffee at all, really. But if you are using collagen, know that some of them can be lumpy, but we both prefer this brand specifically because of how smooth it stirs in. Collagen does not, this one specifically does not stir well into anything cold. But for us, we like it because we like creamy coffee and it's unflavored, so it doesn't add anything. This particular one, it just goes unnoticed and it's just an add-in and a way to give me 10 extra grams of protein towards my total for the day. And that's one of the things that was more important to me. But now this is actually just a habit. Collagen, sugar, and cream just go right in there. And it's been one of those kind of game changers for me, starting the day front loading a little bit more protein. For me, it's just scoop, pour my cream, and I keep it moving. So the next thing that I am going to show you guys is Quest chips. Now, none of these things are my absolute favorite indulgences ever, but the point is the macros. All of these things are about the macros. So in case I didn't show you the macros before on the core power, probably put those on the screen. So 170 calories, 25 or 26 grams of protein, and 2 grams of fiber for that. And for the bigger one, for the 42, that one is 2 grams of fiber and 42 grams of protein. So obviously your calorie allowance matters for that. For the collagen, so that is 10 grams of protein, no fiber on that one. With the Quest chips, these come in a huge box marked Quest. I don't order them from Quest. I get them from Amazon now, but this is the first time that I've ordered it from Amazon. I literally just put it on the Subscribe and Save for this particular package. Before this, I was still subscribed on Vitamin Shop for just one of the flavors. So I was getting this style, the taco chip style. I keep these around to throw in, so maybe if I'm having a sandwich or something like that, my husband will make random grilled cheese or something like that, I can throw these on the side with it because I do like something crunchy with my sandwiches. I always keep them at our office so that if I'm doing anything there or if I'm filming or I'm having calls, that's what most of this stuff is, are the things that I stuff my face with between calls. These give you, this particular one is 19 grams of protein, so that's not too shabby. They just recently changed the recipe or the texture of these chips. So to be fair, they won't taste like chips, but if you're not a huge chip person like me, then they will get the job done. I'm still deciding whether or not I like them. I loved the old formula, but this is, I don't know. The verdict's still out. This particular one was a variety pack. So it came with the loaded taco, but also the nacho cheese, which is 18 grams of protein. And it came with this flavor, which I fell in love with. I saw them at Target and I tried it. Chili lime flavor. Oh my goodness. And they have like the 4-packs at Target. If you want to try any of these before ordering, you know, whatever this is, a 12-pack, 15-pack from Amazon, maybe do that first. Decide if there's one flavor that you like and only get that one. These, like I said, I tried that 4-pack. I brought them home and I only got one bag. My husband and son also ate a bag. And then I think my husband ate another bag. I don't know. The other bag disappeared. Maybe I did eat it. They both are chip guys. So out of those flavors, first my husband did like the taco the most, but now he prefers the chili lime. My son says they're smack, whatever that means. If you're under the age of 30, perhaps you know. So those are the biggest protein items that I have. I will show you guys these, which I don't have any to show you because literally, I ate them. This is also from Quest. So this is the gooey caramel, whatever it's called, candy bites. They're not a ton of protein. These are only 5, but they're 80 calories. And you get 5 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber. Are you kidding me? For chocolate and nuts? Like these, I gobble them up. These, like I said, you're not gonna like turn any major macro mountains with them, but they really help. Sometimes at night, I like to snack. Not sometimes, every night I like to snack. But sometimes my macros are not where they need to be, and then these come in a pinch. Typically, I'm eating popcorn, and Reese's Sticks has been my current obsession. If you're on my email list, you probably know that I went on a peanut butter Twix kick for like all of 2020, and then they were discontinued. So like, what the heck? So now it's Reese's Sticks, and I'm eating them, and yes, they're sugar, and it's refined carbs, and it's all the things that I don't care, and I love them. But sometimes my macros don't have room. I don't quite have, like if I'm cutting, maybe I don't have space to have like my popcorn and my soda and my 220 calorie, you know, Reese's Sticks at the end of the night. That's when I'll have these. Other than that, sometimes I just have them in the middle of the day, like today, because I can. Like those actually taste good. Let me state, the peanut butter cups from Quest, no go. No go. Those are something that I tried once and never again. I like actual peanut butter cups, and maybe somebody will come up with one day that has a little less sugar or less carbs or something, and it's gonna be more macro friendly and I'll like it. But until then, I'm just gonna eat Reese's, or actually I do prefer the dark chocolate peanut butter cups. I like the ones that they have at like Trader Joe's, either Justin's or Trader Joe's brand or something like that. So that's about the only twist that I'll do to my chocolate and peanut butter right now is making the chocolate dark. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna show you is, I said I was gonna do 5, right? So I did collagen, protein shake, protein chips, protein candy. The next thing that I'm gonna show you is actually real food. What? Oh my gosh, I know, right? So these came, and I totally forgot that I ordered them. So these are, and now if you're not a tuna fan, I get it, it's fine. But that's what it is, it's tuna. So I know you guys have seen, like they've had the little like packaged go-to tunas forever. This particular type is higher in protein than most of the ones that I've seen. So a lot of those little packs, like the Starkist Creations or whatever they're called, usually they're anywhere from 15 to 18 grams. This is just slightly more than that. So for instance, this one is 22 grams of protein. This one is 20 grams of protein. And I'll show you guys all of the flavors. So again, I got a variety pack of this one. So yeah, I got really like experimental this time, which is not like me. Usually for these, I only get 1 or 2 types. I get the lemon and thyme and the basil, but I decided to order this little variety pack because there was flavors that I've never seen before. So maybe your grocery store has them and you can check them out. If you're a tuna person, if you're not a tuna person, just think about a way that you can have 20 grams of portable protein for yourself, whatever that is. These sometimes I will have with the Quest chips, which is super diety, I get it. But sometimes I'll have like little crackers, or like I love goldfish and stuff like that. So usually we'll have those around, and that's where I'll have them with them. So these, the flavors are, this was what came in the variety pack. So it's cracked black pepper, and that has 20 grams of protein. And then the infusions, the basil has 21 grams of protein, and all of these are about the same 140 grams of calories. So lemon and thyme was the other one, and that's 22 grams of protein. I've never tried this one before, but I'm excited to try it. 22 grams of protein, and this is the garlic and herb, and you have cilantro and lime. Could be cool. This one is brand new to me. I've never seen that before. So this is a natural smoked flavor, 20 grams. So I don't know. I feel like it won't have any flavor, but I don't know. I'll let you guys know. So just so that you can see them all again, This came in a 6-pack. So I'll link all these things. Like I said, like if you're somebody who actually eats tuna, if you're not, whatever. But something like this would be really good to have if you're somebody who likes tuna, and then it kind of just shortcuts the process so that you're getting a decent amount. It's already flavored, and you could just add chips or crackers, or, you know, make a tuna salad sandwich with it. However you eat your canned tuna, but these give you anywhere from 20 to 22 grams a pop versus the typical 15 to 18 grams is what I've seen for those little pouches. Not to mention, I hate those little pouches because you're like squeezing your tuna out. What? I don't know. But there's a little spoon in there. Is that not the cutest thing? So it's like literally you can eat it on the go as is if you're hardcore. I will pop one of these bad boys open and have this and this on me at all times. I am like sometimes back-to-back calls and I need to eat something very quickly. So being able to have that tuna on hand and grab my goldfish crackers or whatever I'm gonna have with it, boom, that gives me my 20, 25 grams or whatever of protein. A lot of times when my husband cooks, typically falls on a Tuesday. So he claims Taco Tuesday, and he makes up a huge batch of taco seasoned ground beef. And that is where my chips come into play. So that's something else, is that I can always go and grab some of that ground beef, and then I'll eat the like taco or the nacho or whatever chips, because all of these go well with ground beef. So if I can just go and I grab me some nacho chips to eat with them, or the taco style chips to eat with that, then that's a super high protein lunch for me, because you're going to get the like 21 grams or whatever from your meat in addition to 20 grams from your chips. And then typically I'm throwing in, you know, salsa, guacamole, and I use plain Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. It may be something to try as well, which just makes it top notch as far as protein goes. So these aren't things that I typically, like I say, they're not like indulgences that I lay in bed dreaming about, but they are needle moves as far as me getting my protein. Because like I said, left to my own devices, breakfast and lunch are going to be pretty sparse on protein. Lunch will probably not be eaten at all if there is not something already prepared. So having my seasoned taco meat and my protein chips, or being able to have my tuna, you know, and chips or something like that in the middle of the day, something that's just already there. I'm sitting at my desk, I just eat it and go. And especially the meals that I don't think about that much, which I've done a series about that before. So if you're somebody who, if you're trying to understand, like, what is she talking about? My biggest focus is on making sure that I am evening out the playing field because of my love of carbs. So it's a video that I did a long time ago, 10 years, I don't know. I'll link to it so that you can see what I mean. But these things are a huge hack for nailing your macros. If you're somebody who at the end of the day, you're always like, I don't get it. I thought I ate so much protein today and nothing happened. That is something that I would say is worth thinking about, playing around with, and finding some items that work for you. Hopefully that helped you to get an idea of some things, whether you're somebody who is rather plain like me, like I don't need every single meal to be an event. The things that I do want to be an event, I want to enjoy them. And these help me to strike that balance. If you're not someone that needs that and you want things to be a little bit more, I don't know, tasty, then you're just going to have to do a little bit more digging. Dig around on Pinterest or Google and look for things like that can become your go-to items, and then find ways to keep those things in stock, whether it's in your like Instacart favorites, if you're ordering from Instacart, or if it's something that typically I'm looking for non-perishable or, you know, less perishable items that I can take with me anywhere, because I'm either on the go or sitting at a desk talking to somebody and I need to be able to do things very quickly. So if that isn't your thing, then figure out ways to make sure that you always have what you need to hit your macros in stock so that there are no excuses. So those are the main things that I have on Amazon Subscribe and Save. One of the bonus items is I do keep the Skinny Girl popcorn in stock. As I mentioned, I eat popcorn every single night. So if you're somebody who eats it like me, then you may want to look into something similar to Skinny Girl or wherever they have the mini bags, because this again is another way that I get in my fiber at the end of the night, because I mean, it's popcorn, so it's not like, it's not super macro friendly or anything, but as you can see, I mean, it is macro friendly, but it's not moving the needle for the protein. But to be able to get in 4 grams of fiber at the end of the night and have a little bag of protein, I mean, a little bag of popcorn heaven, that works for me. All I do is add my Reese's sticks and I'm good to go. So as you can see, I'm definitely balancing things out here. It's not all or nothing. Maybe you're like me, maybe not. Maybe you just watch this video to totally judge my life, and that's okay. You can come at me if you don't agree with any of these things. The point again is just find what works for you, and hopefully this got some thoughts rolling for you. Let me know how you guys make it work in the comments, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for more. If you like this type of content content, give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know if you guys want more content like this, where you get some suggestions or real life insight into the random, weird, awkward things that I'm doing to make sure that I hit my macros and reach my physique goals. So I'll talk to you guys next Thursday.